So we see that in the end, the QQQ failed miserably in breaking our main resistance level up here. I told you guys about this key point yesterday. Guys, if we break 624, yes, only then we may materialize another higher high, higher low. That's our main inflection point, and then and only then we may see the QQQ turning really, really bullish again. So right now, seeing the QQQ failing in breaking such important inflection point is not surprising, but it is very annoying. And this is why we see many stocks like Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, etc. They are all correcting very sharply today because of this rejection. So let's see in today's video what we can actually do from here. Are we going to collapse? Are we going to continue the bullish bias? I don't know, but we can work with smart strategies to mitigate losses and maximize profits regardless of the next movement. Okay, welcome to the Finance Hydra channel. My name is Nathan. It's a pleasure to see you guys over here. And to be fair, this annoying, frustrating signal is occurring only on the QQQ because SPY is still performing very well. We see a new high, higher than yesterday's high. Apparently, we are just heading towards the all-time high. There is not even a single top signal on the SPY right now. When we analyze the 1-hour chart, we see another bullish pivot point, higher high, higher low, above the 21-hour EMA. So yes, the uptrend is totally valid on the 1-hour chart. We are maintaining the short-term bullish bias. I know we still have a few resistance levels like the 685 and even the all-time high, but we are still maintaining the bullish bias. So in the absence, in the lack of a crystal clear bearish reversal, we can't work with a bearish case on the SPY for now. But I do understand that if we see the SPY losing today's low, closing below it, making a bearish reversal on the 1-hour chart, frustrating the short-term bullish bias, then we may work with the possibility of a sharper correction. Okay, maybe to retest this purple trend line again, right? And then we'll see. But for now, we are still looking relatively good. I know today's candle is bearish, but again, we gotta lose a few support levels first before saying that SPY is going to correct from here. For now, it is a little bit too soon. To me, QQQ is a little bit more alarming because we see a total rejection of our resistance level. I told you guys yesterday, 624, that's our main inflection point. It is also very close to the 626, which was a previous support here, resistance here, maybe resistance again in the future. On the daily chart, we see that this key point was the trigger point of this top signal, of this evening star candle pattern, candle formation, a classic bearish reversal candle formation, which I also did warn you guys about on this channel, okay? After losing this support level, we saw a huge collapse. QQQ retested the 600s again. Now we see bounce because, well, we just met a support level. We saw a hammer candle pattern. Now we are bouncing off this key point. So, okay, that's interesting. But we are still below these resistance levels over here. That's alarming. Now you may say, but Nathan, we are still above a few support levels as well, like the 21-hour EMA, which is working as a very nice support level, by the way, right now, materializing what seems to be a possible bullish flag or bullish pennant chart pattern, right? We see this ascending triangle after this massive rally. So yes, we may just see another bullish continuation, but there is no escape. Either way, we gotta break the 624, 626 area before, in order to materialize this bullish flag over here. Okay, for now, again, it is a little bit too soon, but I do understand, and I have to confess to you guys that it is nice to see the QQQ respecting this 21-hour EMA. It is very nice. What's more, on the daily chart, we see the 21-day EMA as a support level as well. So we see the 21-hour and the 21-day EMA roughly at the same price level, making a double support level in two different time frames. The short-term bias is sustained by its bullish case, by the previous bullish rally over here, and we are respecting our support levels while we are trying to reverse the previous correction over here by maintaining the price above the 21-day EMA. So that's a very good signal. So if you ask me, Nathan, what QQQ needs to do to completely frustrate any bullish case over here? The loss of the 21 EMAs on the hour and daily charts. Only by losing these key points, I see QQQ materializing a top signal below a resistance area. And in this case, we may see another pullback to the 600s. Okay, then and only then we can work with a bearish scenario over here. As long as we see the QQQ above the 21-hour and the 21-day EMAs, we can't work with a bearish scenario just yet. Always wait for confirmation, okay? That's the main difference between traders and gamblers. Gamblers trade without confirmation based on what they think it's going to happen next. Real traders, professional traders, they understand that they can't predict the future, that trading is reactive, not predictive, and they are willing to sacrifice part of their gains for the sake of confirmation before they just wait the materialization of their bullish or bearish thesis before doing anything. All right, so right now, if you ask me, I'm still a little bit skeptical, but if I had to do something, if you ask me, Nathan, you have to trade. All right, you are not a free retail trader. You are an institutional player and you are forced to trade every single day. You have to do something right now on the QQQ. What are you gonna do? I would buy. Again, because we are above our support levels. I would set a stop loss, tight stop loss below the support area, and this is it. Okay? Maybe a target near the all-time high or any other level over here, but that's what I would do if I had to do something on the QQQ right now. Okay, what's more, the risk-reward ratio seems quite plausible in this case, because if you have such a tight stop loss below these inflection points over here, while your target is far away from the current price, okay, the risk-reward ratio is attractive. It is making sense. So that's how I would proceed in this case. Of course, we never trade SPY, QQQ because they are our benchmarks, all right? We use them to understand the market and to trade the right stocks depending on how the market is behaving. That's why we always analyze the beta of your stocks. For instance, we see Nvidia is a high beta stock, beta of 1.96. What this means? It means that when we see the market correcting, Nvidia corrects more. Conversely, when the market is going up, Nvidia performs way better than the market. And it has a very nice correlation to the indices because it has, well, Nvidia weights a lot on the SPY, QQQ, okay? So it kind of dictates the broad market. So that's why it is a high beta stock, it is volatile, and it is correlated to the indices. So when you see the indices making bottom signals, very nice bottom signals near support levels, the risk-reward ratio is good. Usually we're gonna see other high beta stocks performing the very same thing. And that's why I tell you guys, we never trade SPY, QQQ because we often see better opportunities in high beta stocks. We can outperform SPY, QQQ by behaving like this, by understanding how the indices are behaving, by controlling the beta of our positions, and analyzing correctly what they are gonna do right now. So if you ask me, Nvidia fits on the very same situation I described on the QQQ. We are near a support level. We are above the 21-day EMA. Yes, that's very nice. However, on the 1-hour chart, we are on the verge of losing the 21-hour EMA. Unlike the QQQ, which is still above, respecting the 21-hour EMA, Nvidia is not. It is totally flat. That's not necessarily a dangerous situation. It is not something that meaningful, but we gotta pay attention, okay? This happens because it is a high beta stock. And since we see QQQ collapsing from its open today, we see Nvidia also correcting as well. But Nathan, Nvidia is actually going up 0.33%. Okay, I get that, but we are doing a similar movement, but with more intensity. Now, we still see a possible bullish pivot point. So if you ask me, hopes are not lost in this context. I know we see a bearish candle. We are going up today, but we see another bearish candle. But we are respecting our support levels, and we also see a possible bullish pivot point. So, see, the situation on the SPY, QQQ, and many other stocks, as we're gonna see in today's video, it is not that horrible. Okay, I know we see QQQ correcting a little bit. We see many stocks frustrating their previous bottom signals, but there is still hope because they are still above their support levels, like Nvidia, like Tesla, Palantir, etc. What's more, Nvidia still has the possibility of a bullish pivot point on the daily chart as well. I would love to trade Nvidia in this context, but earnings report in 7 days. For swing trading purposes, we never hold stocks during earnings report, so I'll pass. Okay, it is a phenomenal stock. I invest in Nvidia since October 2020. All right, so I love this company, but for a new entry, for swing trading purposes, it is not the ideal. I would wait for earnings report. For now, if you ask me, I see other stocks, I see better opportunities right now at this very moment. Now we have Tesla collapsing 2%. Here the situation is a little bit more delicate. Okay, it is a little bit more dangerous, but it is not that horrible. Okay, I know we are below the 21-hour EMA. We see QQQ above the 21-hour EMA, Nvidia at the 21-hour EMA, Tesla is below it. Okay, so it is very annoying. Okay, I know, I get that. It is insanely annoying. What's more, we are on the verge of making a new lower high, lower low, giving continuation of this downtrend. Okay, so that's not good. However, we have yet to lose this candle's low over here because that's the trigger point of a real lower high, lower low, if you ask me, on the daily chart. Okay, only then we may materialize a real top signal below the 21-day EMA. But I do understand, and I agree, Tesla is not behaving in the best way ever. Okay, we are dropping today, trying to make a top signal. We are below many resistance levels, unlike SPY, QQQ, and Nvidia, which are still above their 21-day EMAs. Tesla is not, so we may just continue to collapse to the 413 or maybe even lower levels, maybe to close this gap near the $400. Well, to be more specific, 396. Okay, but right now there is still hope, just because they SPY and the QQQ. Okay, they are still trying to maintain the bullish bias on the daily chart, on the 1-hour chart as well. Okay, so there is still hope, but that's the only thing that could save Tesla right now, would be a systemic bullish continuation. All right, because if we see the market getting weird, losing support levels, possibly Tesla is gonna collapse. Okay, and remember, Tesla is also a high beta stock, beta of 1.61. Okay, if you ask me, it is even more dangerous because it is a very volatile company. This beta is a little bit lower because it is not that correlated to the indices, okay? So it is volatile, but not that correlated. But usually when we see the broad market correcting, Tesla corrects as well. Okay, so now we are on the verge of making a top signal below many resistance levels. That's an alarming signal. Okay, it is an alarming signal. It is not like Nvidia, QQQ, SPY, which are still above their support levels, still maintaining the bullish bias. Okay, Tesla looks weird in this context, and it is weird in a way that is even worse than Palantir, which is going down more than Tesla today. Okay, let's talk about Palantir in a minute. First, let's follow our order over here. Our dear Amy, Lady AMD, flying 9%, precisely 9% today, 9%. We are making a phenomenal reaction after finding a support level near the 21-day EMA, after closing this gap over here, right? So, okay, nice support level. Now we are going up. If you ask me, we have a secondary resistance level in this area near the 257, near the 260s over here, because first, this key point is a previous resistance level. Second, it is the all-time high. Okay, what's more, we are triggering the inverted head and shoulders that I described to you guys yesterday as well. It is materializing what Nvidia failed in doing, okay? What Tesla failed as well. We saw this bullish pivot point, a possible inverted head and shoulders over here. Tesla failed miserably in doing that. Okay, so that's insanely annoying. Again, that's why it is annoying, right? We see a total frustration of this reaction. Nvidia had a bullish pivot point. It failed in triggering this key point yet. AMD did a phenomenal movement. Okay, it is going against what many people thought it would perform. Okay, right now it is going up nicely, heading towards the all-time high. Nathan, so you see a few resistance levels over here, right? How dangerous is that? So far, that's not necessarily dangerous, but we gotta pay attention to this key point. Okay, because if we see any top signal below the 267, below the all-time high, we may see another pullback, okay, to the 21-day EMA, to the 227, right? And any harmless pullback in this context, even a pullback to the 21-day EMA, would represent a collapse of 7.5%, okay, more than 7%. So we gotta be careful, all right? If you ask me, AMD is not necessarily a buy right now because, again, we are far from support levels. We made a very insane reaction too quickly, okay? Now we are near our resistance levels, so I would not buy it. If you still have AMD, amazing, okay? I'm very happy for you. There is no reason to sell. In fact, if I were you, I would set a stop gain below the 227. All right, because if we lose the 227, we're gonna technically make a top signal on the weekly chart, suggesting a possible pullback to the 21 weekly moving average, maybe to the 186, or in the worst case scenario, to close this gap over here, over here near the 170s. Okay, but for now, we are still above all of our inflection points, so amazing. All right, I'm very happy for you. We do not have any AMD right now. You guys know we bought AMD right here and we already sold over here during this rally. Okay, so now we are just waiting for another opportunity. You can trade with me by joining the 5% project, our Telegram channel. Okay, join us over there. Every single day I share signals, strategies, and many content for you guys in a exclusive way. Okay, so just join us over there if you want to trade with me. I always provide entry points, stop loss, targets, all in real time, all with risk management. Okay, so just follow us over there. Okay, link to my website is in this video description. Okay, free trial, by the way, 7 days. Now we have our dear Palantir. it is going down, collapsing 3.5%. But again, it is slightly better than Tesla, if you ask me. Why, Nathan? It is dropping more than Tesla. We see Tesla making a top signal below the 21-day EMA. It failed in making a bullish pivot point, and we are below the 21-hour EMA again, making lower highs, lower lows. Palantir is not doing that. I know, on the 1 hour chart, we made a lower high, lower low, but we are bouncing off right now to the point of closing above the $183, which I told you guys yesterday, guys. That's the inflection point for us. If we see Palantir closing below this key point, we're going to reject this candle entirely. And this candle was a massive bullish candle, a possible ignition bar, breaking many resistance levels. So if we see Palantir rejecting this candle, it is going to be a horrible signal. So by closing above this candle's low, again, there is still hope. All right, there is still hope for a reaction. Again, I'm not saying it is good, okay, that it is a good buying opportunity, that we should buy Palantir right now. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is still hope for a bullish rally on Palantir. Any bullish rally over here could take us back to the 207. But if we lose and close below the 184 again, then it's over. All right, then we are gonna possibly retest the 170s area again. Okay, but for now, it is a very delicate, it is a critical situation for Palantir. We gotta wait for more confirmation. If you ask me, any bottom signal over here, any confirmation of a bottom signal again, breaking this 21-day EMA, making a good bottom signal in this area, could be another buying opportunity with a good risk-reward relationship. Because in the end, Palantir is still bullish, all right? So hey, why not, okay? Why not? Either way, I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this channel every single day, so subscribe to keep in touch with my daily analysis. And guys, I have a very important message for you, okay? I am now launching, guys, now I'm launching a new mentoring program. That's right. In this program, I will personally help you manage your portfolio and investments. Together, we're going to design personalized trading strategies just for you. And we will apply these strategies until we validate them. For 4 weeks, we will have individual meetings. You will have access to my personal number where I will guide you in real time. It will be very intense, and I will personally help you to boost the performance of your investments, as it is a very exclusive service where I need to get to know each of my clients very well. Places are very limited. Guys, our last program was in April this year, all right? So I can't say when I will do it again. It is very rare, and I can only do it when my schedule allows. So keep in touch, all right? Soon I will give you guys more details about our new mentoring program, the second of 2025, okay? So keep in touch, all right? It is gonna be wild. It is gonna be crazy. I love when I meet you guys, when I get new clients, when I can work with our portfolio. This is insane, okay? I love doing that, so it is going to be crazy, all right? So again, keep in touch, more details very soon. Either way, the link to my website is in this video's description, all right? Now, Google, you guys always ask me to analyze Google, and I rarely do that for a few reasons. First one, Google is particularly annoying because usually when I see an opportunity in Google, I see better opportunities in other stocks. Okay, I do not give many signals on Google, all right, on our Telegram channel. I rarely do that. But right now, if you ask me, we have a very interesting reaction. Why? Because we see a total rejection of the 291.59. This key point over here is a major resistance level, and today we see a bearish engulfing candle pattern, by the way, so that's a particularly dangerous top signal which reverses the trend roughly 79% of the time according to Thomas Bukowski's studies. So yes, that's a very dangerous top signal, but we are not triggering it yet. In order for Google to actually make a top signal, we gotta see Google making this bearish pivot point, lower high, lower low, losing the previous low on the 1 hour chart, which is precisely at today's low, okay, 283.70. By losing this key point, Google is going to trigger this bearish pivot point, reinforcing the idea of a sharper correction to lower support levels. We have a support level at 275, which is near the 21-day EMA. This moving average is approaching this support level right now, so we have a double support level in this area. But Nathan, what if Google loses this double support level of yours? Then we're gonna see possible double top, okay? Which means reversal on the daily chart, pullback on the weekly chart. Then I see Google retesting the 21 weekly moving average in the next few weeks. All right, so that's the idea for Google right now. But what if we break the 291? Amazing, the bull trend will continue. All right, I'm not saying Google is gonna be a buy. All right, I'm not an advisor, but it is going to continue the bullish bias, okay? That's the idea for Google. Honestly, I see other stocks looking more interesting, like Meta. Okay, again, Meta is another stock you guys constantly ask me to analyze. Meta looks more interesting than Google. Why, Nathan? Because unlike Google, this one is near a support level. On the weekly chart, we just closed this little gap over here. So we are near a very intense support area. I know today we are collapsing 2.88%. But still, we are above this support level. We have yet to reject the idea of a true bottom formation. A few days ago, last Friday, we saw this phenomenal hammer candle pattern over here. So if you ask me, just like on the just like on the QQQ, Nvidia, Tesla, Palantir, there is still hope for Meta. But for now, there is no clear bottom signal yet. So hey, I'm not saying Meta is a buy, because again, there is no technical bottom signal right now. Let's say you are out of Meta, you are waiting for a new opportunity, there is nothing for you. But at least we do not see Meta rejecting the bottom signal over here yet. So again, there is still hope. As far as I know, if we see Meta making any bottom signal in this area again, we may see another buying opportunity, not advice. Okay, I'm not advising you guys to buy Meta, okay? I'm just sharing my thoughts over here. Okay, if you want to trade with me, join our Telegram channel, right? There I give you guys signals, information, etc. But right here, right now on Meta, I will keep my eyes open because I gotta confess to you guys, it is one of the stocks that are on, it is one of the stocks on my radar. Okay, I have many stocks on my radar right now. Meta is one of them, okay? I'm gonna keep you guys updated anyways, so subscribe, join this channel, like this video to support me as well. Your like means a lot, my dear friend. Trust me, it means a lot. Every like I receive, I improve my English, okay? So like this video so I can communicate better. Thank you so much for your audience, my dear friends. Stay safe. See you guys tomorrow as usual. Bye-bye.